So what's up? I'm at work. Um, it's crazy. I'm I'm at work and I'm listening to Cenk Uygur talk to Norman Lear, and he was talking about he's asked Norman Lear what it was like when he was growing up, and he said he grew up in the Depression era, and one of the things that he always took pride in was a best compliment he felt that you could give a man back in that time period was he's a good provider. I mean, he took care of his family, took care of his responsibilities, stuff like that. And then it got me thinking, like, I never wanted that to be part of my identity. Like, I never had, not wanted, but I didn't care. I was indifferent if being a good provider for other people other than myself was something that I had, that I would take pride in. It just wasn't. Like, I never identified as that. I still don't identify myself as that now. Like, even when I was married, I didn't identify myself as a husband and a father. Like, before anything, I'd identify myself as an MC. I'd identify myself as a soccer player. I'd identify myself as an artist, rapper, whatever, anything. Like, I've never had that be part of my identity, and that's kind of why that's kind of been, I guess, indicative of how I've treated relationships. Because I didn't even never identify myself as a boyfriend. Like, even when I was dating a girl, or when I was married, it's like, yeah, I'm with Tina. Or, yeah, I was dating and she was like, I'm with so-and-so. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm their boyfriend. Or that's my wife. Like, my identity was never tied to them or anybody else. My identity was tied to what I do and what I find pride in. It's not, I didn't mind being a husband. I don't mind being a father. I don't have an immense amount of pride in it because it just happened. Like, every time, other than my son, even with my youngest, like, even with the one named after me, it just happened. It was like I planned it out. It was like, all right, we knew we want to have a kid eventually, and he just showed up. Like, so I'm pregnant. Like, all right, bet. But I never really grasped that and found pride in that, just because I found pride in being other things. Like, I was always talking about my mom, who was talking about my grandfather, said, be a committee of one. So the things that I found pride in was the things that I did for myself and did to prove myself to other people. But it was tangible. It was like things I could prove, like, yo, this crowd was just crazy. Or look at the numbers that a club is bringing in and stuff like that. Or like, yo, nigga, I made some dope ass passes and scored some goals and we won some fucking games. Or, hey, boss, look at my production on the job and compared to what it was before I got here and what it is now and compared to everybody else. Like, I never really cared about being a provider. Like, I wanted to provide for myself. I want to be able to hang out and not be dependent on my niggas when we hung out, or not be dependent on anybody else and I was out. I want to be able to take care of my own. I've always had that. Like, if I died today, I wouldn't want them to say put on my obituary he was a father, he was a boyfriend or a husband or whatever. Like, no, nigga, like, he was a Manchester United fan, he was a Buckeye fan, he was an MC, he rapped, he played soccer, he loved science fiction, he loved politics and debates on religion and everything else and economics. Put that as a father and an ex-husband dead last, man, because that's not who I identify myself as. Everybody has a right to identify themselves as who they want to be, as long as it's staying true to who they are and who they present. When I present myself to someone, I'm not presenting myself as a father. People don't even know that about me because, like, one, it's none of their business. But two, even if it is, like, I don't want to say I don't care, but just like me being a dad just isn't who I am. Like, it wasn't, like, I had good fathers all around me. I had great uncles. My dad, the man who raised me, he was a great father, A1 father. But that was just, he wanted to be a father one day. He wanted to be a good husband. He found pride in that. I've never really found pride in that. I don't think I've ever put myself in a mental capacity to find pride in that, because anytime I was doing that or being a father, I was always trying to do something else that I could have pride in. I was always trying to get better at performing or get better fitness-wise at those things. it was never, man, I can't wait to be dad. I'm gonna be the best dad ever. I'm gonna do all these things with my kids. It's just like, I guess I got to do this. Like, all right, you want to go outside? Let's go outside. Like, things that take away from what I want to do, I really don't like. Not not like, but kind of resent. But I don't resent my kids for needing fed. I resent the fact that I put myself in a position to where I have kids to feed. Like, I can't get mad at child support and the system, how fucked up I feel that is. But if I wasn't in this system, I wouldn't feel as fucked up. Like, when I wasn't paying child support, I never thought it was a fucked up system. I heard stories, but that never really resonated with me until I happened to fucking put myself in that situation. And it's bad for the kids, bad for the mothers of kids and my family, everything, because I don't have that immense amount of pride of being a father, to where I'm willing to go through all the trials and tribulations and the ups and the downs and going in and out of court and dealing with visitation, all that stuff. I'm just like, man, this is blocking for me what I want to do. Like, a lot of times when I'm taken away, I can't do something that I want to do because I have the kid, I'm like, man, if I didn't have kids, I could do this. It's just like, shit, really wish I didn't have kids at the time I had them, because I'm selfish. I don't say selfish, but self-centered. Like, I want to do what's good for me and the people that I have pride being around first. Like, you're not going to miss a club. Like, I have pride in being an MC. Like, 2 days after my son was born, I went to MC. One, to kind of revel in it. Like, yo, doing this. Like, this is what I love. Like, he came into this world. I met his mom doing something I love. So, and he came into this world. So I'm going to continue doing what I love because this is what I love. Like, I worked my ass off and got better and fought. And every time I put in 110%, as much effort as I could, that'd be nice. So I'm dead ass tired. And there's a lot of nights, because I put out so much energy. And I loved it. Those things I found pride in. I found pride, and I still find pride in. I don't want to not MC, like, not play soccer, not do something to where I can take pride in. Like, that's just not me. And if I can't do something I want to do because of somebody else hindering that, I don't want to deal with that person or that entity. And it's crazy. Like, even when I was married and I was fucking around and shit like that, it's not that I didn't love my wife. It's just that I also find pride in hunting, wolfing, like meeting a chick and getting her after sex. Like, that shit to me was dope, because, like, yo, this person approves of me because of something I did. Not something I can do for them, but just something I did and turned them on and shit like that. That shit was dope. That shit was hella dope. Because, you know, like, you kind of get points, like, in my own internal competitiveness, and just something to brag to my homeboys. Like, yo, you had sex with her? She's dope. Yeah, nigga. So it's like, yo, this is, yeah. And you don't get points for just, I guess you don't. Like, not in my mind. Like, having sex with your wife is like practice. Like, you don't get points for doing well in practice. Like, meeting a chick out and having sex with, that's the game. The game. I'm talking about the game. Not practice. The game. Like, I know I'm supposed to just have sex with one chick. That's the society we live in today. That's fine, but that's, you know what I mean? I know I'm supposed to be there. We talking about the game. Shouts to Allen Iverson. But no, man, it's just like, that was never, it's like, all right, cool, I got her. And then most of the time, the chicks I have sex with were way better looking than my wife. Not as freaky, but way better looking. Like, the niggas, none of the niggas who tried to have sex with my wife when I was with her wanted to have sex because she was cute. Because she was, like, dope as shit. She was a nice looking girl. I liked it. But my side chick, my Miss is way better. Niggas say that, like, yo, Leighton's side chick is way better looking than his wife. Like, why you sleep with your wife? I was like, man, intangibles. She's my wife, things like that. Like, niggas will try to have sex. Like, dudes will try to have sex with my side chick, even if they knew that she was my side chick or not. Nobody tried to have sex with my wife. I mean, a nigga did, but I think they did that just to get back at me. They weren't doing it just because, like, you know what? She's a looker, and he's not treating her right. So I'm going to have sex. Like, no, nigga, you're the same low-key, low-down motherfucker that I was being. Come on, man. Like, they're doing that to get back at me. They weren't doing that shit because they really want to have sex. Like, no. She was, like, if she wasn't connected to me, they probably wouldn't have looked twice at her. But that was just dope shit. Like, niggas trying to smash your side. Like, they're trying to really get at your side chick. But no one's, like, my mistress is way better looking than my wife. Like, far and away. What does that everybody think is like, bro, what the fuck? Like, man, that's the hunt. Like, you get a good base, and then you gotta have a home base. There's different. Like, there's things, she took care of home, she took care of me. I trust her with everything. I wouldn't trust my side chicks, but fuck no. But they're just hot. They're there for what I need them to be. Hot and available. Hot and ready. And disease-free. You know? But it's just, Nick, that was never something that I really thought about. Like, I shouldn't have sex with you because I'm mad. Like, no, man. Like, I'm dope. And usually because I was drunk and or high. So that just fueled the fact that I was like, oh, I'm dope. So I'm gonna, I never chased strange when I was sober. Ever. I was at home, kicking it with her. Like, I had chicks I'd have sex with when I was sober, but they're regular mainstays. But I never chased strange when I was sober. But you get to sipping on that Superman juice and fucking rolling, everything's amazing. It's like, and you're super charming. Like, the charm is turned up to fucking 800. Is never just, I was never trying to be cognizant of how other people, I knew she'd feel bad. I knew other people feel bad. And people were like, oh, what about your kids? You don't see it. It was like, dude, it's too stressful. Like, I'm not going to let my happiness in the things that, in my pursuit of things that I take pride in, be derailed by something that, I guess, morally, no, not I guess, but morally, I should have more pride in. But fuck that, dude. Like, going back and forth to court cases and missing work to deal with shit that I don't want to have to deal with, to deal with more stress later, I'm not dealing with it. I think that throws a lot of people off, and like my family suffer because they want to see the kids, like, and they want to have these relationships. They always say, like, every time you and a girl break up, like, every time those girls piss off at you, we don't see the kid. Like, man, you need to take that up with them. Like, I'm not the one keeping them from you. But I'm not finna dive in to be more stressful about a situation that I knew was going to be bad. This is not me. Don't mind the boxes just going in. But that's how it's always been for me. Like, if it's not fun, I'm not going to want to do it. If I don't have to do it, if it's not pressing and it's not fun, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to deal with it. Because I take pride in, like I said before, playing soccer. I take pride in playing sports and competing. There's no competition to be a good husband. There's no competition to be a good father. Like, for me, there's no payoff. Tangible. There's no tangible payoff that I can't get well, what if your kid's extra rich? Well, so I'm just going to lurch off the kid? Like, hey, man, I'm going to raise you. And that way, if you become rich and famous, I don't have to work again. Man, fuck that. I'm not going to do that to that kid. Like, I'm only being your father so you can be successful. Like, no. To me, it's just like, live your own life. Ooh, trip. But I'm not going to do something that I don't want to do, hopes that it doesn't backfire, like the hopes that I can lurch on somebody else. Like, nigga, I'll get my own. I'd rather make my own millions, and then that way, if he makes millions, we can shine together. Hey, son, I made millions. I also see you made millions. Dope. Let's go fishing or something. Like, this is it. Like, relationships to me, like, I can get past and get over it because I want to make sure, at least physically, if I'm not in a fucked up situation. Like, if it's fucking downpouring rain or a blizzard outside and I'm freezing, I was like, hey, can I get a ride? But my car breaks down. Like, hey, I need a ride. Can you come get me? He's like, no, we're breaking up. Then, like, all right. That's something unforeseen. I'm pissed at that. It's like you picked the worst. Like, you couldn't have did this shit after I got situated. Now I'm all fucked up, and now you leave. That's fucked up. But emotionally, it wouldn't affect me. Like, with me and my wife, but it didn't affect me that much. So I mean, it sucks that the relationship fell apart, and I know why. But what really affected me is that not seeing my kid, like, shit the kid with her. Like, the fuck, man? Spent every day with her. Every day, all day. But then it's gone, so, like, the relationship's sour. And I'm an out of sight, out of mind person. Like, that's something I just do, get compartmentalized, out of sight, out of mind. If I'm not seeing it, I'm not thinking about it. If it's not impending, I'm not gonna worry about it. And I think that's just kind of what happens, man. That's just kind of what the fuck happens. But just to get to the point, it's like, I've never thought about being a provider. That was just never something I ever thought about having pride in. Like, yeah, I take care of other people that are dependent on me because I chose this path. I'm choosing to give up money for people who can't do the same for me, in that sense. Like, no, I'm good on that. Like, now,